had a conversation recently with a man outside a bar about etymology, and I was really excited because that was the first time I heard somebody say the word out loud. Um, I've spoken about etymology before to people in real life, and usually I'd have to explain the definition to them so they wouldn't even know what I was talking about off the rip. And that was the first person who's ever brought it up to me in person. So I was like very excited. Mind you, we're outside a bar. It's like 10 o'clock, and this man is quite drunk. Actually, he's very drunk. But he's talking about etymology and talking about the history of language and words, and how words have changed and how we give meaning to words and all of these things. And he started talking about ambition, and he was like, yeah, did you know ambition used to be a sin? And I was like, and he was like, yeah, ambition used to be considered one of the sins. And immediately when he said it, like, I understood it, because some of the things people do, it's not out of hate for you. It could be, but some of the things people do is not out of hate for you. It's not even them trying to ruin your life. It might not even, like, it might not have nothing to do with you. It could just be pure ambition, and you could just be in the way. And even when I think about my own ambition and what I'm willing to do to get to where I want to be, I split, because there's a part of me that's willing to do certain things, and there's a part of me that's not. In the name of ambition, specifically, I'm talking about ambition. In the name of ambition, there's a part of me that's willing to do certain things, and there's a part of me that it absolutely is not. And even when I think about the things that I would not do, I understand them, and I've considered them. It's just not something I want to do. But I don't want to do it because of cause and effect. People don't understand, every action, there's an opposite but equal reaction. So I could do all these things in the name of ambition, right? And I say in the name of, because it's, the ambition in itself, I don't know if it's moral. I don't know if the ambition is morally good or bad. That's whatever, it's subjective. But I do believe that sometimes people will mislabel actions in the name of love, in the name of ambition, in the name, when really maybe you are just an evil bitch, and maybe they did want to hurt you, but that's another topic. But it's cause and effect. And I could do something, I can cause something to affect me in a much deeper way than it needs to be. It's trauma. You got to pick and choose your trauma. Everybody get traumatized. Everybody get traumatized. Everybody experiences some form of trauma. It's really just about you picking your trauma. So it's certain shit that to me just ain't worth the trauma of it. I'm gonna just be real with you. It's certain shit that I don't think the benefit outweigh the cost. I don't. So it's certain shit I'm just not gonna do, because for what? You know what I'm saying? And also we gotta go back to that whole God shit, and what you believe in yourself, and because it's like, if again, you're solid, then why the fuck would you do some fugazi shit? You don't got to. If you do fugazi shit, you doing fugazi shit because you want to do fugazi shit. You a fugazi ass person. Don't put it in the name of ambition, bitch. That's just who you are. But I was talking to somebody, I was talking about, like, you hear these horror stories of, like, I'm talking so fast, I'm not even on no caffeine or nothing. Like, it's crazy. I'm actually kind of sleepy right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm a real yapper. I'm a yapper to the death of me. But we was talking about stories of like artists that, you know, people have these horror stories about, like, oh, they were so bad, or they were so mean, or they would steal our music, they would steal our costumes. And I'm like, and I literally said, they're doing that in the name of ambition. They're doing that in the name of being better. You know, that ambition, sometimes that ambitious spirit, it hurts people. But we also, as a society, we pedestalize people who have this ambitious dog-like nature in them, cutthroat, will cross anybody. We put them on a pedestal, but then at the same time, we act shocked when you come to find out, you know, they're maybe not the best person. And the great example of this is that Kanye interview. Kanye said, if you want all these crazy ass songs and crazy ass stages and crazy ass performances, it might come from a crazy person. Yes, you want this ambitious ass, cutthroat ass, ruthless ass person. Maybe they're cutthroat, ruthless, and maybe that's them, you know, like. But aside of that, I've been studying language because I'm not in school. I'm not going back to school. The next time I go to school is going to be to put my name on the board for a panel, bitch. I'm not going back to school. I'm going to just be real with you. I'm not. But because I have a little free time and I haven't been studying anything besides like music and shit like that, I've been really into language because I really believe I can read every language. Like, I believe I can understand every language, and like as I look to certain languages, I'm starting to notice patterns. Like, I started with Mandarin, and I'm still very early. I haven't even been practicing like as of recently, but I started with Mandarin, and within just, I say 2 to 3 months, I started in August, I say within 2 to 3 months, I've noticed such a strong connection, which obviously these are all Southeast, Westies, Asia, North Asia, whatever, but Indian script, Panstaki, whatever the fuck, that shit is literally Japanese, but like swirlier. It's literally Mandarin, but like a swirly Mandarin. It's the same thing. And I look at German words, French words, and it's another one like Icelandic, like over there in that region, like the way the words look is damn near the same. Like, I don't know, I've just been noticing patterns in words. And even like, I play this game where you gotta play with a person, but you start on one letter. Let's say the letter is like P, right? And you each have to say a word that start with P, and you go back and forth until somebody can't think of a word. And when I play this game, I realized like there's a word to describe everything in every letter. There's a word to describe sex in every letter. There's a word to describe food in every letter. There's a word to describe anger in every letter. There's a word that describes happiness in every letter. There's a word that describes everything in every letter. If you start with A, you will find a sexual word, a food word, a emotional word, a scientific word, just in A. And if you go down the alphabet, you'll see that consistently until like X, Y, Z, W, not W, X, Y, Z. Then it starts to get a little hard. Like, that's when the game get hard. But it's all these like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Language has really been sparking a lot of interest in me. And even the etymology that I've learned recently about some words, like I learned that the word blessing used to mean curse. And that's so funny to me because I think about it a lot since I heard that. I was like, oh, like every time I hear people talking about how blessed they are or the context in which they use it, I'm like, damn. Switch, take the word out and put cursing right there instead. I'm so blessed to have this family. I'm so cursed to have this family. I'm so blessed to be able to work this job. I'm so cursed to be able to work this job. I'm so blessed to live this life. I'm so cursed to live this life. I'm not gonna lie, since I've like learned the etymology of the word blessing, I have not said it. I say it and I'll be like, never mind. But I know it don't, it's just interesting to see how words change, and how a word that once meant you were cursed could mean you are a favor. That's very funny. I learned the etymology of the word demon. That's been fucking with me a lot. The etymology of the word demon. The word demon means genius. Damon. The word demon means genius. The word demon means genius. And when I heard that, it made me think of the movie Split, because I had watched Split like 6 or 7 months ago. And this was the first time I watched it with a different perspective. I watched it through the perspective of the schizophrenic person being right. When I watched Split before as a kid and shit, or a teenager, I was very like, oh, this is weird and I'm confused, but I still always had an interest in it. But I was scared of it. Obviously, this nigga turned into a demon. But the last time I watched it through the lens of, what if he is not crazy, and what if this is real? And I mean, even in the movie, he did start doing things that were not human-like. So what does that mean? He turned into a demon. He turned into a genius. And even him saying, like, the reason for killing those girls and not killing her was because they weren't conscious. They weren't conscious. They weren't real. Basically, is what he's saying. They weren't real. If you're not conscious, you're not real. And if you listen to anything in the occult, that's kind of like their number one principle. Literally, that's like their number, well, maybe not number one, maybe number two. But if you're not conscious, then you don't exist. And when you look at it at an extreme level like Split, that's basically what he was saying. These girls are not conscious. They don't think. They're not conscious, so they're not real. But I can't kill you because you're a real person. You're a real being. You're conscious. You're aware. And I just been mind fucked about that ever since, because demon means genius. Because a lot of us make jokes, I'm fighting my demons, and it's like, what if we just let the demons take us over? I know that sounds scary, but I don't mean that in that sense, in the sense you're thinking. Because you're still looking at demon like a negative thing, not like a genius thing. But those demons are just trapped. They're just trapped. And the truth is, the demon and the light, or the angel, they have to come together. See, my whole life, I walked in the path of light. My whole life, I'm 25. My whole life, I've walked in the path of light. Meaning that I just moved in light naturally. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I was a light being. I was just on the light side of things. So the very harsh realities of the world, they just didn't exist to me. Like, and if I got hurt emotionally or physically, it was my fault, and I was a victim, because I was only dealing with the light side. So my whole life, I've only ever walked on one side. So now recently, I've been getting confronted with my shadow self. I've been put in situations where I have to speak up. I've been put in situations where I have to be unapologetic about how I feel, where I have to not allow people to disrespect me, because they will try. Oh my fucking God, will they try? And demanding respect, I don't know if that's really a light thing. I think that's more of a shadow thing, because I don't want to get into that. But my point is, I've been brought to a position in my life where if I do not begin to accept this dark shadow side of myself, I'm going to burn myself alive with the light. With the light. See, everybody think that the light means heaven. But if the light too bright, you can't see, just like in the dark. If the light is too bright, you cannot see, just like in the dark. So you need the contrast. You need light and dark. So for me, personally, I'm on the journey of my shadow. And I have met plenty of people who done made me bring it out, and who want me to. So thank you. I appreciate y'all. Fuck y'all too, but thank you. But that may not be the case for everybody. Some people may have operated in their shadow their whole life. Some people grew up violent. Some people grew up in situations where they felt threatened from a young age. Some people grew up in places that were not safe, environments that were not safe. So they never got to walk in the light of themselves. They have always been in the shadow. And for them, their goal in life is going to be stepping into the light and integrating the light with their shadow. But it really just depends on what side of the spectrum you is. It's the same path though. It's the same path. I used to hear Panic say that shit all the time, man. I used to hear Larry say that shit all the time. And I didn't really get what he was saying, but it's the same path. Whether you walking on the path of light or you walking on the path of your shadow, them bitches got to come together at some point. If they don't come together, you're going to be walking in circles. That spiral. If they don't come together, your ass is going to be walking in circles, stuck, reincarnating, trying to figure out what the fuck you're not doing right. And I realized that because after, I ain't gonna lie, after a couple people played with me this year, I was like, oh bitch, I'm just gonna be straight shadow. Like literally, like, oh y'all moving like that, well I'm okay, everybody wanna show their shadows, bitch, let me show mine. You know, that's how I was feeling. But I'm realizing, like, you don't get on people's level, you go above it. So no, I don't have to just solely operate out of my shadow, but I don't have to be afraid to let that motherfucker come out when it need to, which is something I was afraid of in the past, which is why I only walked on the light side, because I was afraid to let my shadow come out. I didn't want my shadow to come. Bitch, I was scared of my shadow. That's why I be telling y'all, leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Y'all don't be listening. Y'all think the person who run their mouth all day screaming and hollering and drool coming out their mouth, you think that person gonna do something? Leave me alone. I ain't even do nothing to you. That's what I be saying. Like, I ain't talk to you. I ain't bother you. Bitch, I ain't say nothing about you. It be a bitch I ain't never even heard of come trying to fuck with me. And now, bitch, I'm finna flash out. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave people alone. But I didn't want my shadow to come out, and it used to take so much for me to let it come out. I used to damn near have to like have a mental breakdown. Like, that's how serious it got. It got psychotic, and that's why I don't really fuck with. This is the last thing I'm gonna wrap it up because it's getting a little long. That's why I don't really fuck with Western psychology, because the shit all over the place, the Freudian shit. I mean, some of the shit Freud and some of that shit was cool. But a lot of that shit is twisted, and them people don't know what the fuck they talking about. And a lot of shit be deep rooted issues that they can't even begin to unwind, and they just be in there fucking with y'all head. I'ma just be real. If they don't be fucking with y'all head, they just be feeding y'all bullshit to make y'all keep coming back. I did all that. Whatever. I didn't forget. See, that's why I need to stop running my mouth, because I be talking too much. I forget the point. So what was I saying? Fuck. What was I saying? I don't know, but I'm gonna just say this, and then I'm gonna go. It was something about the psychological patterns that will happen if you don't deal with your shit. Oh, because I wasn't letting my shadow come out, I was having these fucking psychological breakdowns and panic attacks. I was having all of these mental disorders and these mental illnesses because I was not expressing a part of myself. I was actually, quite frankly, denying a whole half of myself. I was literally denying half of myself, of its existence, of its rage, of its anger. I was allowing people to do whatever they wanted to me, say whatever, treat me however. And that led to panic attacks, psychotic breakdowns. I would go mute. I would stop talking. That led to all this shit when I should have just stood up and cursed the bitch out. Or I should have stood up and slapped that hoe in her mouth. Like, sometimes you got to do that. Don't, like, I'm telling you, man. But that's why I was saying all that about psychology, because they'll give you Lexapro this and antidepressant that, and bitch, all you need to do is curse a hoe out. But y'all don't want to listen to black people, though. Y'all don't want to listen to black people. You would rather go and get a prescription and get some insurance and do all this shit than just listen to the source right here. Smack that bitch. I bet you feel better if they deserve it. And you know in your heart they was fucking with you first. Slap that bitch. Slap her. Don't talk. If you already talked to the bitch and it ain't getting, slap that hoe. I'm speaking gender on gender, so man on man, woman on woman. Don't be out here domestic violence. I don't give a look. If I gotta explain that to you, you're stupid. That's the shit I'm talking about.